Hi everybody, alright? I hope you're alright. We're alright here. As you can see, Jen's here.
Hi guys, how are you?
And we're going to talk about things that make you, when you're feeling sad, unhappy,
Yeah.
that kind of
Any anxious feelings and things like that?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the emotional
Emotional aromatherapy blend. Some of my favourite blends these are. So hi everyone, I hope you're well. So I've written some notes here, so you'll have to forgive me if I keep glancing down. I want to share as much information with you as I can. So when we think about ourselves as a whole, you know, we are created to function as a whole, you know, the spirit, the mind and the body, and we're all, you know, connected on a cellular level. So I'm sure, as a lot of you will know, our body is all made of intelligent cells, and you know, we all want to have that health benefits and, you know, essential emotions. We all want to be, you know, happy, we want to be empowered, and some days, you know, we all have our bad days. It could be somebody that can affect us, or you know, things like that. It's how we process things as well in our mind. So
and it can happen just like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it could be happening down the Marmion. You know, I don't know about you, but I often want to spray the whole of the Marmion with balance and just, you know, chill the hell down.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's our main local road and main road with all the traffic lights.
Well, it's how they drive.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
when you get in the car.
Yeah.
So emotions, they're processed throughout our body. So, you know, emotions, they're information that carry all the molecules, and they all go around in our body, and it affects, you know, the emotions will affect our function and, you know, our behaviour. So how I like to talk about how our emotions are, you know, science reveals, you know, that we have three brains. We've obviously got our mind, which is our logic and our intellect, and I'm sure that you know the subconscious mind that directs over 90% of our behaviour. We also have our heart, our second brain, so that's our intuition. There are more neuropathic ways that run from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart, where I've been researching, which I found really interesting. And our third brain, which, you know, a lot of us do use, is our gut. You'll hear people talking about, you know, that gut feeling. So 90% of our body's serotonin is involved in our mood management, is produced in our gut. So as an example, my 12-year-old son, when he was in primary school, he wasn't a fan of going to school because of certain instances. So he would wake up in the morning, his brain would say to him, oh, don't want to go to school, getting a bit anxious, oh, what am I going to do? You know, and then in his heart, he's feeling like, oh, mum's going to be upset with me, mum may be cross. And then in his stomach, he may be getting like butterflies, and his tummy is, you know, going over and over again. So that's how the three brains can connect, you know, and the brain is telling the stomach to feel like that. So they all communicate with each other, and they feed back to each other. So that's influencing your mind. So if we also think about another life experience, if we think of, if I go back in time, sort of 14, 15 years ago, a life experience, you know, I had my first son. You know, you could be having a crying baby in your arm, you got the telephone, you could have a dog barking at you, and then, you know, your brain will be processing it, as in your brain will be thinking, you know, I need to think this out. Your heart will be feeling a bit overwhelmed, and your tummy's going over and over. And then you've got the reaction to this, how you're processing it. In turn, you know, make your head, you could have a bit of head tension in your heart, in your tummy, unsettled tummy, and it's just going round and round and round. And then the belief that you're thinking, you've got your crying baby, you're trying to answer the phone, you've got the dog barking, and then going from your life experience to processing it, to your reaction in your body, you are believing, you know, do you know what, maybe at that time, you know, I'm not good enough, I can't control this crying baby, I can't sort the dog out, why can't I do all this stuff, you know, and I just can't, you know, cope. So emotions and essential oils, they can help interact chemically. So 1 drop of essential oil is 40 million trillion molecules. I won't even know how to write that.
Yeah.
So these chemical compounds can service every cell of the body in a matter of minutes by applying topically with your fractionated coconut oil. So the essential oils, you know, they can support your cell receptors, they can promote a healthy cell function, and they can maintain a cell's natural state. So if we're thinking about how we can use the essential oils to support us physically and emotionally, there are 3 ways. So I'm sure they've probably seen in our other videos where we talk about them. You can use them aromatically, topically, and internally. Now, when we're using oils aromatically, the smell is the fastest way to affect our mood. So aromatic molecules, they have direct access to our limbic area of our emotional seat in our brain. Now, what I wanted to share with you first is just something from when we talk about our brain, from the Emotions and Essential Oil book. So this is when you're trying to find out about your feelings. So if we're tuning into our mind and our body connection, so when you're trying to identify the exact emotions you're experiencing at any given time, we can find that challenging. You know that you're feeling something, but you may not know exactly what it is. Our brain's limbic system governs our emotional response and sends different chemical messages for the different emotions we experience. Our body has specific physical reactions to the various chemical messages, thus providing an indication as to the emotion that is triggered. For example, stress is an emotional state that generally causes the release of extra adrenaline and cortisol. Those chemicals trigger physical reactions such as increased heart rate, changes in breathing, trembling, digestive upset, perspiration, and we can go on and on and on. So there are some general reactions that give us a predictable foundation. It's possible to experience multiple feelings simultaneously, which I'm sure we all have done at one point. So when we experience the emotions, everyone can be different. Just try and look at the examples of the physical indicators, and then what we try and do is we try and associate what oil can help support you with that. So if you are looking regarding finding out information on emotions and essential oils, this is a really great resource which can help you as well. So going back to our first use, as I said, was aromatic. So for me, if I need that calming, that grounding, I find my suitable oil, and just even smelling it, inhaling it from the bottle is a really great way. Using your diffuser, I'm sure Nick's shown lots of all the little different diffusers and you've seen those up on our posts. That's another way. So I always have my diffuser on. My top tip is when the kids come in from school or when hubby comes in from work. They may have their grumpy pants on, and we don't want grumpy pants, we want happy pants on. So by putting a uplifting, say a citrus oil, like your citrus bliss or your cheer, wild orange, lemon, that can change their moods and emotions as they walk through the door. We have a diffuser on near the front door in the lounge and coming into the kitchen as well. So the second way is topically, when we're using our oils to help physically and emotionally. So we would use our fractionated coconut oil and then your chosen oil. And for us, we apply to the bottoms of our feet or our spine. And then that helps get through the tissues, through the body. And obviously, if you need localized support, you would apply that essential oil there. So if I was feeling a bit uptight because the Marmion Avenue and drivers are annoying me, that may in turn, that emotion may trigger some head tension. So I would apply my essential oils to the area in my head. If I just needed overall calming, where I use our balanced grounding blend, I just apply that as part of my routine just to my feet every day. Yeah. So if you're using these emotional oils, I always find applying to your heart, inside of the wrists and behind the fleshy bit of your ears is a really nice way to apply them. If you are feeling things going on in your mind, apply to the back of your neck. You can apply it across your forehead and again to the bottom of your feet if you wanted to. And where I was talking about my son, where he has the gut feeling and butterflies, even for us as adults, when you get nervous or you're in a situation, or for me, even me sitting here talking on this video, I'm like, oh, applying to your tummy area is really a really nice way of using that as well. So the third way is internally, which we've spoken about before. Some of our doTERRA essential oils can be taken internally in your water for flavouring. So I'm always on the label of the bottle, it will tell you how many drops. I would always, for us, we would take in our water and sometimes like under the tongue, and then we're happy as well, we get some like little gel caps that we take certain oils in as well. So aromatically, topically and internally. So what I wanted to do is discuss each of the aromatherapy oils because they are 6 of my favourite blends. I do have lots of favourites.